And hello YouTube, today at powerjackrepair.org we got an Asus Q526F. Unlike other laptops where we just fixed the jack, this one came in for this connector right here. This is the battery connector. Let's zoom in a little bit. As you can see, the battery connector should have been here, like that. And the battery is supposed to attach to that connector. And what people don't realize when they take it to... Basically, this is the shop that sent it to us, that usually sends us for the work for the power jack repairs. But this time around, they send us the battery connector repair because, I mean, they don't really know anybody who can do it. And I was like, whatever, you know, if you're willing to pay, that's fine. Now, there is a couple of ways to fix these guys right here. You see that there are two traces on this connector that are stayed on that connector. There is a proper way to fix them, but the amount of time it's gonna take to fix it is gonna be more than this laptop worth. So instead of charging the client arm and a leg, we charge the regular rate. The rate is above. And we're just gonna make it work instead of using some masking, some trace repairs right there. Nobody needs that. Everybody needs things to work and a price. I mean, that's, in my opinion, 2022 things are starting to go not that great in economy. So so people are cost conscious nowadays, not so much. So the problem happens here because people don't move this guy to this side and remove the battery connector. They usually just remove the whole connector along with the cable. What you need to do is you need to slide this guy this way, and then you're gonna remove the cable. But that happens all the time now. So I'm just gonna do it the quicker way. That's the way I see it, because I'm not gonna be fixing those pads. I mean, this pad is broken, that pad is broken, this pad is broken right there. So there is one pad, two pad, three pad, four broken pads. But again, the goal is for me to make sure the pluses are working, the minuses are working. This is the plus, this is the minus right here, and the two handshakes right there. This is just a support. That's another support that seems like a minus to me. Let's take a look. How is it minus or not minus? Let's see. Hold on one second. I need to adjust my analog voltmeter. All right. So this is a ground. Oh, now we got another broken pad. Okay. So that's another ground right there, but it's not connected to anything. So this is ground. That's plus, plus, plus. Don't know what that is. And that's a minus, minus, minus. So even if I put plus on there and minus there, I don't think the whole handshake gonna happen because we're missing those two traces right here. Now, let's try and run. Oops, I hit my head on the camera. Now let's go onto the microscope and try to run a couple of wires from here to here and another wire from here to there. And hopefully that way we will be able to do something about it. Let's go under the microscope. Alrighty, so as you can see, we got... Alrighty, so what we got is... this trace right here is ripped off. This is just some remains of the... So technically we could scratch right here, run a wire from here to here, and scratch right here. Oh, it's scratching easily, wow. Oh, that's probably the worst case, in case we'll have to... Yeah, let me scratch this guy up a little bit. And basically we can grow a pet here, right? But again, that's gonna take me some time. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna trace this wire, trace this trace to this guy right here. And that trace is the one right there. And let's run the wire from here down to here. And from there down to there. And that way I would just be able to put the connector on top and glue everything down. Now, so let's see if we can put some flux right there. Now let's see if we can find enough wiring here to oh, come on. Alrighty, so move this guy this way. Let's try and thin the wire a little bit. Alright, so wire is pre-tinned. And now we wanna solder it to... Let's try and solder it to this pad right there. Alright. Yeah, excellent. Now for some reason we got out of focus here. Alright. Good job. Let me tape it down here. Let me cut this guy out right here. Where is my tape? Tape is right here. And I'm just gonna tape it down along the way like that. Alright, so as you can see, I'm making sure that this guy is on top of that trace. Alright. Okay. Can you just stay flat on there, please? Yeah, stay flat. Well, hopefully it's gonna be flat when I'm gonna be putting down the top there. All right, so let's continue and try and solder the second wire. Again, we want to pre-tin it. All right, so added some flux to the tip. Now let's try and pre-tin the wire. Alrighty. All right, so wire is pre-tinned. Now what I want to do is find some fine tweezers, which I have here someplace. All right, so we found some tweezers to hold the wire together. Let's... Good job. Yeah, good job. Excellent. Those are the Lycan tweezers. And now let's do my magic like that. Like that. And let's make sure it's gonna be flat. All right, so we made sure that it's all nice and flat. Now we want to put some tape to hold down the second wire. Alright, are we recording? Yeah, we're recording. Now let's move this guy in place. And tape this guy down. Alright, so the second wire gonna be perfect. Yeah, I can even probably add some solder right around here if you scratch this guy. So from here to here, everything's gonna be fine as long as we're gonna connect that top guy in place properly. Alrighty, so let's prepare the pads. Alright, so the minus pads. You know what? They for some reason don't wanna be. Alright, I probably need to remove this guy anyway, because and it's broken anyway, so what's the point? Alright, and now let's prepare this pad, that pad. Alright, you know what, let me add a little bit more solder. I mean, as long as one of those is conducting, I'm sure it's all good. So, good job. Alright, and now let's find the connector. Alright, so here we got the connector. And we got the two pads that came off the motherboard, which I can't for some reason remove. Can I remove them maybe somehow? Okay, good job. Let's remove the second pad. Come on. Come on. Yep. Alrighty. So the second pad is removed. Alrighty, so what I want to do next is add some flux to the equation here. It's kind of hard to keep this guy in place. So I'm just gonna do it like that. Let's add some solder everywhere. Come on. Where is it? Right there, okay. Because it's the bottom where I want the pads to solder to the... Alright, looks good. The only problem is I have no access from the top to the soldering joints. And I want to make sure that this guy is closed completely. And yeah, it's closed completely. So because of that metal bracket on the top, I have no access to the... You see? No way I can see what's going on there. So unless I remove that bracket, which I don't want to remove. Let's see, how do I... Yeah, that bracket makes my life more complicated. So the solution is probably to remove the bracket altogether, but I don't want to mess up this connector to begin with. Because again, I need to access to those guys. Right there. All right, so let's try a few things here. All right, so you should understand that My microscope is a 3D microscope. Basically, it can swivel around, but not to the extent that I wanted to. Let's see if we can maybe position it in a way where we can see something in there, and we can't. Because the light doesn't come from this angle, the light should be coming from that angle, like that. Yeah, this is all not happening because those wires are lifting up the whole assembly thingy. All right, so let me at least try and solder few of those guys while I'm holding down the jack. Maybe it's gonna work, maybe it's not gonna work. We will see in a second. I just wanna get one or two of those guys down. I can show you how great I am with tweezers, but I'm just trying to make this thing work. All right, let's see now. Okay. As you can see, the left and the right side seems to be soldered in. Now I just need to solder those two wires and see where that's gonna take me. Right, so now it's gonna be just guesswork, I guess. 3D or no 3D, I can't really see under those guys. Let's see if we can solder them so that the wires would be soldered through. All right, looks good to me. All right, so obviously it doesn't have any anchor points right now. So we will just have to deal with hot gluing it on the left side, hot gluing it on the right side, hot gluing it maybe, well, I can't really do any hot gluing on the front, but mostly right here. Well, again, because of this bracket, it's kind of hard to hot glue anything here. Well, anyways, let me figure it out. All right, so I just checked that the wires are not really soldered through. You see how they move freely? That means they didn't really kick into the Let's make sure that the wire itself gets enough solder on it. Okay, so now this one is good. Let's try more solder here. Let's hold this guy down. All right, so I want to make sure that it's not touching the top metal bracket. That's the thing I want to be 100% sure. If it's not touching anything. All right, good job. Excellent. I like it. Let me clean up this area too. Because once the hot glue, if the hot glue not gonna stick, it's not gonna be anything. All right. And I'm gonna air dry this whole thing in a second. Alrighty, let's air dry this whole connector. You don't want to melt the plastic, but just make sure everything is nice and dry. I'm just gonna double check the conductivity. Alrighty, I did check the voltage coming through. Anyways, yeah, I mean, there's really no good way to hot glue it in place without hot gluing the whole connection here. I mean, including the... No, I don't think it's possible. No, we will see right now. I want to do some on this side, some on that side. See, maybe I would be able to massage it in a little bit with my with this guy. I need to do some here, some right there. Again, there's movement on it. No, I mean that's yeah. I mean you have to hot glue the whole thing here. Yeah. Alright, let's see if my hot glue gun got any hot. Alright, so we're gonna do the masking. This is the best masking there is. Alright, so where is my... Yeah, right here. Alright, so what I want to do is this. Let's... Okay. Okay. Now let's do the same from this side. All right, so we're gonna be masking out those guys here as well. All right. Alrighty. But technically the best thing is to just hot glue the whole thing. Alright, so the reason I put those two guys in there so that the wires would be standing for sure in there to the side here. And this has to be a bit on the level. These guys. Alright. Let's see if I can open this guy up to work so that the connection would overglued here. Should have kept it open. Well, anyways, the next guy who gonna be not gonna be able to move this guy to the back, but would start ripping off the connector, will rip off the connector again. So, because I mean, people don't know what they're doing, so... But here, I mean, everything should work, technically, alright? This guy not moving, it's hot glued. This guy not moving, it's hot glued. It even probably holds better than originally, but again, it all depends how people gonna take care of it in the future. Alright, let's connect the battery back to the laptop. Like that. Like that. Good job. Well, I'm afraid that this thing gonna be pushing on the let's cut this guy out a little bit. All right. That's much better in my opinion. Let's hook up this guy like that. The jack looks good. So, you know what, let me first finish with the batteries. Battery screws. Okay. I wonder what was the reason to take this whole laptop apart in the first place. I mean, everything looks good. Everything seems to work. Anyways, here. The moment of truth. We connect the battery cable. And we're supposed to close it down right now. Let's see if it's gonna be closed down. Yep. It does get closed down. Yep. Good job. Excellent. Couldn't be better. I mean, it could be better if I would just be able to hot glue the whole thing here and be done with it, but I'm sure the client, whoever gonna mess with it next, probably gonna mess it up. Because everyone's hands growing out of not the right places. Anyways, the job is done. Let me power it up, make sure it does work. All right. I'm gonna leave my post-it note inside. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not gonna leave anything in there because people gonna blame me that I did a bad soldering job. Now, the soldering job, I did a really good one. Again, if you be really careful with it, you're gonna be fine. If you're gonna be not careful about it, basically don't touch it, all right? Let me put the cover back on and see if everything works. Okay. Well, the laptop came without screws, so I'm probably just gonna add a few screws here on the bottom. I wonder which type of screws that are here. All right, so we got one screw. We got two screws. All right. And I think there should be some sort of fat screw going in there, which I'm gonna locate. And what happened to the laptop here? Well, probably wasn't here, I hope. Hope not. Well, maybe here, no? No, I think it came in like that. Yeah. Well, anyways, I will wipe excess out. Let's take a look if we're gonna be able to see what's going on. Okay, so do we have any lights indicating that something's charging? We got orange light right here and a blue light right there. Not sure what any of those lights mean. Right here. Let's see if it's gonna power up. Yep, we got Asus searching for incredible. Searching is not exactly founding the incredible. Here it shows that it's plugged in charging. Sometimes the cable goes bad right here. Sometimes the jack goes bad. Again, I don't know if it's charging or not. Usually there should be some sort of green bar going. Well, anyways, let me... Basically, the connector is replaced. Will it work? Go figure. All right, so much for the... Here, we still have that light. I'm sure it's not gonna power up from the battery. And so much for me fixing the laptop. My understanding that client tried to replace the battery, but they broke the connector while replacing, and they left the old battery inside. So I have no clue if this thing gonna work or not, but the board checks out just fine. The connection checks out just fine. It is what it is. Thanks so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, and you guys have a good day. Thanks. Bye.